Yeah. What's up, everybody? Yo, yo.
I didn't know that you guys like kind of went back a little bit. I was at San Holo last night, and I ran into Christian. I was talking to him a little bit, and he was like, "Yeah, Seth's like one of the first people that like I knew,
right?
And like indie or like
where did we meet?
Or like not even in indie, just like kind of in this realm.
I think it was you pulled up, and we got food at like an Irish place, I think, with Josh, and
was it in B-Town?
Was it in Bloomington?
You're talking about in Terre Haute.
No, actually in Terre Haute. No, you played the Verve, right?
Yeah. I did it. Okay, you're talking about Terre Haute. I was like, for some reason I'd felt like we'd met before that, but maybe that was the first time we'd actually met.
That had to have been.
Yeah.
It was you and your girl. What was your girlfriend's name again? Sarah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She's at home offended right now.
Yeah, I was saying it's probably better that I don't know her name. It's like, yeah, Sarah.
Nah, she's good. She's chilling.
I know her middle and last name. It's like, hey, quit stalking her. But yeah, when we first met, I don't even know what I was getting into with that. Fuck.
Not a lot of people have played the Verve, but we played the Verve.
We've definitely played the Verve.
It was fun. It was like an opportunity to play some like random rap edits and just
a test. That's literally like for me that was like the testing like battlegrounds, honestly, because it was like now they actually can throw some more weird shit over the underneath the rap shit, but before it was like get your weird shit out even if it's palatable, but then as soon as it starts building up or it starts getting crowded, don't even think about doing that shit until it's time to kick people out. Then it's like play your heaviest shit that you got.
Exactly.
Top 40.
Everyone in that environment is like,
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. I really want to just hear something I know.
Yes.
It's
and I get that.
Yeah.
I totally get it, especially in our scene. It's like when you hear a song that you love, obviously from an artist that you love, it's fun. But it's like you've heard this song before, like the top 40 shit. You've heard this song so many different times. At least within our world, you could hear that same song in 5 different genres.
Right.
Yeah, but you guys can also put your own fucking twist on it, where you're just like, oh, I heard this one part, and then whoa.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like everyone's remix of Grizztronics.
Right.
You know, you're like, oh, this song played itself. Oh shit.
Are we coming?
What the fuck just happened? Oh, sorry, Dunk. Oh.
Sorry to interject here, though.
He's back.
Didn't you have a frequency file?
Yeah.
He does have a frequency file with us.
Sleep Talking.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That was old
Is that
school.
a track? Is like
Frequency. The name of the track was Sleep Talking.
When Frequency Family was, which I appreciate you coming out, because obviously Wizard hooked us up.
Yeah.
I swear, man, like
shout out Josh. Josh is a great guy.
For real, like I'd irk him to keep making music, man. Like he's
good.
Like
I don't stand behind that statement.
I don't understand. Exactly.
I'm just kidding.
I just don't understand why he just doesn't want to do it. I don't know.
And how old is Josh?
29.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
some people just like they're like not feeling it. You know,
to each. Maybe he'll pick it back up.
Yeah.
You know,
I
feel
he
like
stopped for a good while, and then he was just like, all right, I'm gonna get back into it. But it was like as soon as I moved to indie, he just stopped playing shows.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, should I just stayed in Terre Haute and let him like keep doing shows? Because I swear to God, as soon as I came to indie, he just like we had Mr. Wizard and Friends.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the last thing he did?
So you were his downfall.
I don't know, man.
Your fault.
He just handed over the torch and just said, hey, I don't want to do this anymore.
It's a real commitment. I don't know if you get those, but it's a roller coaster to decide, okay, I want to try to be an artist.
It is.
I want to do this.
It's a huge commitment.
Stay on it. And you're going to have your highs and your lows and your really lows and questions like, man, there's people out there saving lives and I'm just trying to make this like sound good.
Yeah.
You know, and
I'm over here with my headphones on.
But that sound good could save a life too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's like I always try to give myself that perspective. Like I feel like everybody that is, you know, really passionate about what they're doing, they had that moment where like music really impacted them in like this way that's like, I don't know. It's deeper than going to a song and just hearing something that you're like, that's cool. It's like, wow, like this sounds like, I don't know, maybe a little intense, but it's like when you have those experiences around music that like inspire you, you're like, I want to be just a better fucking version of myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's like, I feel like everyone has that moment where, you know, music really deeply impacts them. And then the moment you start making it, you know, you get in the weeds, you're starting to figure out more of the technical side of things.
Yep.
And you're just like chasing that feeling to try to provide it to other people.
Yeah. Like, I felt this. Can I provide it now?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's like giving back to the whole thing. It's like giving back to the universe, basically. Like, someone gave this to me.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I'm capable of giving that to somebody else.
Right. So which is like,
I'm going to try.
Yeah. And like chiming back to, you know, Electric Forest that year that Madeon said, it's like first, you know, nighttime show where you're actually there and present for it. And, you know, the whole production is just like going full blast and you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And
I can't believe this one guy is up here doing all this until you realize, okay.
And then you realize, oh, this guy's like my age / like I think he might have even been like a year younger than me at the time.
Oh, yeah,
I was like, you know, blown away by that. And I was like, I need to understand what the hell is happening up there.
Right.
Mind blown.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the last night someone was talking about Porter Robinson. I looked at something like he released Worlds when he was 19.
Yeah.
Porter
Robinson.
Bonkers.
And I was like, yo, when I was 19, I was literally a sophomore in college just doing nothing but shenanigans.
I'm over here like, how do I even open
How do I talk to girl? And he's like putting out fucking just beautiful music, you know? And I'm like, what?
How do I soak up pee stain?
Yeah, I threw up. How do I feel better today?
Dude, I mean, I seen Worlds 4 times live. That shit is just like every single time. I will even watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
All the way through. Cry at every single same part. Yeah. Just like Porter Robinson is my guy.
So that's like, I'm sad today. Let's go.
Yeah.
I've watched that a lot because of Seth staying in my house.
Yeah. I'll put it on. He's like, okay, I don't really want to watch this. And then it just it grabs you.
But I just like I crave new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I feel you. And it's like even things that I like, if it's played too much, I'm like, damn. Yeah, we need to not. I'm starting to not like this as much.
Yes, this used to be my favorite song.
Yeah,
that's the best part about electronic music. It's like it could just keep evolving.
Yeah,
like one song can turn into like how many songs, how many remixes of like "I'm Blue."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, that song is from '93, and it's like
Daft Punk off tracks. The dome. You knew that was in '93.
It might be '94 actually.
I can't remember if it was.
If only we had a fact checker.
Or 2015, but you could not go to a show without hearing some remix of that Bastille track. Is that how you pronounce it? Bastille?
That sounds familiar.
What song is it?
They're like, and the walls came tumbling down.
And if you close your eyes, it only feel like you've been
Banger. Banger.
And if you close your eyes.
It was 98 for On Blue.
I honestly, that like whole kind of category of music, it sounded like...
That's my favorite.
It reminded me of Coca-Cola commercials. Like, you know, just like...
Greatness?
I don't know. It just... I could never get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get that because
it's for commercial. It's for commercial use only.
Yeah, commercial use. It's corporate.
Yeah, I mean, it just... I don't know.
I have
like McDonald's guy.
Yeah, like I mean, especially with that song in particular, I was like, "Sweet God, not another one." But I do have nostalgia for, you know, the vibe of those days. Yeah, like, I'm not saying, you know, let's all go like make perler beads and whatever the fuck, like plur, change wristbands and whatnot again. But
if you want to, you can do that.
But if you want to, like, let's go.
And you can follow RYNS.
Yeah.
On SoundCloud.
You can follow me. We'll trade candy and stuff.
Give me all that candy.
But like there was something about that vibe that I do miss. I feel like during that period of time, it was going, it still is, you know, in its way, but it was going really strong, and then a lot of people kind of like fizzled out of the scene in their own way.
Yeah.
And you know, moved on, or, you know, got their job and they're like, okay, I'm done.
Remind me of like Fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like kind of like the same like type of genre of music or same feeling you'd get from it.
And now it's got like a bit, I mean, obviously depending on the show or whatever, but it's just a generally like darker aesthetic and feel. And when I say darker, I don't mean like, you know, hostile,
evil.
No, of course.
But you know what I mean?
Like heavier,
yeah,
just like
it's not Astro World.
It's very like, are you still here? You know what I mean? And if you are still here, like, all right, this is what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like that same sort of like dichotomy between like the underground and like remixes of those like really commercial songs. It's like, or playing at the Verve. It's like people want to hear in that environment something they've heard before.
Yes.
But then if you are, you know, playing like a Boiler Room set, or, you know, if you're playing like a Def set or something, there's a lot of value placed in playing stuff that no one's heard before.
Ever.
Yeah.
Right.
Like IDs and just like stuff that is underground.
New. Yeah.
And I appreciate both sides of that.
Yeah.
A lot.
100%.
You say like when you say, you know, I recognize that people want to hear like something they've heard before, because again, that kind of gives you that connection point to something.
Yeah.
You know, first thing that comes to my mind is always any Missy Elliott track.
Totally.
Because like, man,
Missy
anytime a Missy
Totally.
Elliott track comes on and someone's in, dude, the whole place erupts.
Yeah.
You'll never see as much ass thrown as you do in that moment. And it's just like, people are just getting it to Missy Elliott. And I'm like, yo, there's something about it. People just connect.
She makes that rump shake.
Yeah,
So.
she really does. So it's like, but then, you know, you like love the extra onto it where you're like, oh, yeah, I've heard this before, but what's new here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Missy's reliable, you know.
All reliable.
Yeah, all reliable.
Hmm.
And like, it's just kind of wild that, you know, people to this day, I feel like people are going to be sampling her stuff forever.
Oh, for sure.
It's an art form now.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna
At
be
this point.
who is it? Is it who's the girl that I just put on my jewelry just to go to?
Oh, Bia?
Is that Bia?
Yeah.
Like that track's gonna be just
It's
like
getting so much love
I
right
don't
now.
even heard it.
what?
I feel like you've probably heard it.
You
Like,
haven't?
don't even realize
Is
it.
it a TikTok song or something?
No.
Oh.
I put
It
on
might
my
as well be
jewelry
at
just
this
to
point.
go to
Right.
the
Like,
bodega. Detox Unit did. I think Detox Unit did a remix with it.
yeah.
Someone at Resonance pulled it out. Yeah, it was Detox Unit at Resonance.
Even
Like,
some homies. I know you guys know them, but I was like, I just realized maybe they don't want me to tell everybody that they actually did that for whenever they end up dropping it. But like, they did a flip of it. And,
we can you can say it and we could bleep it out. Check
yeah.
with them. I'll write it. Oh, I've talked with him about this.
Yeah, I know that they put a flip of that tune together, and yeah, it's
Check
just,
with you. I'm writing it down.
But shit.
God damn. Let's see. I actually have a question. Back in the day when you were downloading music, did you use LimeWire or FrostWire? Neither. You didn't touch any of
Neither.
them.
LimeWire?
Did you touch LimeWire?
Oh, I was in LimeWire
I was
as much as LimeWire was in
LimeWire.
me.
Right.
I had friends that had LimeWire, and
Yeah.
I remember them showing it to me, and I was like, wow, this is insane.
Yeah.
But I do also remember that other one that was around for a while. I think it was a little bit after LimeWire, called like Morpheus. Do you guys
Yeah,
remember that one?
all of
Oh,
them.
Yeah.
I had to use one every year because I destroyed my parents' computer
Right.
every year.
That was the thing. I was
Yeah.
like,
That was
if
it.
I even try to do this, my parents will be pissed because I will mess this computer up.
Yeah. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening to this episode, which you might.
It wasn't the porn. It was Morpheus.
It was the LimeWire
And
music.
and
The music.
and the hardcore porn.
All
stuff
those
you used to watch.
peers.
It was just the music.
God damn it. Oh, but I did want to know what you talked earlier. You said you have a full-time job, and any moment you have to spare within work, you're speaking about or thinking about RYNS. But what do you do in your everyday life?
So this is.
And did you go to college for this too? Did it kind of like
totally
evolve from
unrelated to like anything I did in school? Because I did like media and journalism and writing stuff.
Nice.
Which, you know, I'm still very interested in. I think is super cool. Like I, for a period of time, was like, well, I want to write for like a trade publication or something, and you know, that's kind of like, you know, not so much wanting to do that anymore. But I was working in restaurants through school, and then, you know, a coworker told me about, you know, this huge ass company that is in Bloomington and all over the world. But I work at a pharmaceutical manufacturing place.
Okay.
And they make all kinds of things. They make all kinds of products for different companies. They're
we got a pharma bro in the house.
Yes, we farm.
Pro pharma.
Pharma.
We're cooking up, like literally cooking up in the lab. And so they're a contract manufacturing place. So they don't actually make any of their own products. Yeah. It's other companies like, you know, Bayer and people that do that.
Are you like the Amazon of like pharmaceutical drugs?
I guess that would be a pretty decent comparison.
Okay.
And
I'll probably make stuff for like Eli Lilly.
Eli Lilly, they kind of do what Eli Lilly does. I think they have, I don't know enough about them, but like they manufacture stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm in a setting where I, you know, go into what they call a quote unquote clean room. And I go into a locker room, I change into scrubs.
Okay.
And then I go into this other room and I put on gloves, beard net, hair net, face mask, safety glasses, a pair of booties, and I'm like in the process also like sanitizing like this badge and all my stuff. And then I go into another area that is like another grade of like
cleanliness.
Yeah.
Damn.
Where I have to then put on a set of like coveralls, another set of gloves. So I'm wearing 2 sets of gloves.
Damn.
And then another set of booties. It's intense.
Your hands get sweaty?
Kind of, but like, dude, you get so used to it. It's crazy. Like when you first start doing it, you're like, this is a lot. Like you're telling me I have to do this every day, sometimes multiple times a day. And now I've been there for a little over a year and it becomes second nature. Like you don't even think about it. Okay. But I work in a building and I'm allowed to say this from them because it's like public. There are some things that they do that like, and products and companies they work with that you can't talk about it because it's not actually like out on record. But I work specifically making one of the COVID vaccines. They have a building that's dedicated to that specifically, and I work in the department that is directly before the vaccine goes to like a filling line where it's put into vials.
Okay. Wow. Are you allowed to say which vaccine you work with?
It's the Moderna. They've announced it. It's like it's a thing. So if you went and looked it up, you could find it.
I'm J&J.
Oh,
J&J one banger to the left arm.
It's funny because I didn't even get the Moderna.
Oh.
Even though they were like offering it, I had got it ahead of time, but I'm not even going to go on about that.
Yeah, we can leave that. We can leave that.
But it's super interesting, and it's like, you know, obviously it's just it's interesting. I appreciate it, but it is so far from the end goal. Like it's
of what
just,
you want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like
I feel that.
And the deeper I get, honestly, it's like the more burnt out I feel. And like, you know, in a lot of ways, I'm very grateful that I have that job to like help support and sustain everything else that I'm doing with like this project and whatnot on the outside. But, you know, it's you can see how people would get hired at a big company like this and then wake up like 20 years later and they, you know, they have a career, they have like their life set on front of them, but they're like, damn,
what happened?
I've been here.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know, respect to all of the people where it's like that is what they need and want in their life.
And they're good with that.
It's exactly. Fine. Like it, you know, good for you. But
we need people like that.
Exactly.
Those jobs
totally.
For real.
Yeah. Totally. It's just some days more than others it's a struggle because it's like I'm like I would rather be doing anything else.
Yeah, what the fuck am I doing here right now? Like, this is so not me.
Not at all.
Yeah.
But at the very least it's good to know that like it's going towards something new. Like I got started doing that at the end of 2020-ish, and you know, it was still kind of peak COVID time, and it was like I feel like I'm at this weird intersection of history where it's like I'm going to be talking about this when I'm a fucking grandpa.
Right, for sure.
I was there.
I was making the vaccine.
2020.
Fuck up,
Sit
grandpa.
around, youngins. Gather around.
We got rid of diseases 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to your dubstep, grandpa. Like,
Yeah. Why don't you get out your USB, grandpa?
you don't like LFO?
Like, I'm going to go download some shit to my brain. Like,
Yeah. I'm going to plug in real quick.
Don't mess with your LFO, Gramps.
LFOs
LFOs are dead now? No.
But yeah, most of what I'm doing every day is I'm literally like filtering different solutions of things into another thing.
Okay.
Wow.
Is that in Bloomington?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Are you hiring?
like crazy.
Oh, really?
Honestly, it's
You're going
funny
to drive
that
an
you
hour to
ask, like,
Bloomington every day?
Yeah, drive every day.
Yeah.
An hour.
people will drive down from Indy. They'll drive up from Bedford, which is like 30
wow.
minutes south of Bloomington. It's crazy.
Damn.
It's very very blue collar. I'll say that. Like,
oh yeah.
Despite it existing in Bloomington, it's very rural.
Yeah.
Rural. Rural. And you know, Indiana, you're gonna get that. It is what it is.
Get them
Yeah.
good characters.
Yeah.
But I walk in there and I feel like such a city boy.
Oh yeah.
They're like, yo, damn, dude, your hair's crazy. And I feel like I'm living like a second life. I'm like, yo, I just went and like played the show and whatever, like Cincinnati, or
Right.
like, flew out to Denver over the weekend and came back, and I'm here on Monday, and they're like, Jesus Christ, man, like I made a brisket.
Yeah.
Right.
We
Which is
watched the
cool.
Colts play yesterday.
Catch with my kids.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It keeps me out of a bubble. I'll say that. You know, it's
Yeah.
like there's all walks of life that work there, and so it is kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
For
I had
that reason.
a similar kind of, I was working with Elanco, which is out in Greenfield, which they're, if you're not familiar, they split off from Eli Lilly, and they were basically Eli Lilly's animal health division. And I was working with them, and, you know, I'd walk in, and I got my long hair, I put up in a bun, but I was like, there's no one here, no guy with long hair.
Yeah.
And so I'd like walk in any room, and they'd be like, hey, man bun, hey, whatever. And I'm just like, I can't be around you people. like, oh, my boss would come to me and be like, oh, how was your weekend? He'd be like, oh, we took Jimmy to soccer practice. And I'm like, your life sounds so not what I'm trying to be about right now.
Exactly.
Like, it's just like, I couldn't ever feel, I ended up leaving it, and I like went back to this company I work for, but I was like, I never felt comfortable or like, just like accepted or just like, yo, I'm cool to be me and do my job. I was just like, this is way too just and yeah.
So do you tell your coworkers like what you do on the side?
Yeah, I mean, they
Bring it
know like that I am doing the music thing.
Right.
It's like that's
Do the music.
that's what it is. It's like, oh yeah, that he does music
Stuffs.
because it's like you're always trying to figure out how to describe what we do.
What you do. Yeah. Right.
to
Yeah.
people that are 100% on the outside of it and maybe have never been exposed to anything like it.
At
It's
all.
like
Yeah.
telling people that like I practically play a computer. Like,
Yep.
or it's like you tell people you're a DJ, they're like, oh, like weddings and stuff. I'm like, I mean,
Yeah.
Almost.
yeah.
How many tags have you got from people like looking for a DJ for a wedding, or, you know, I'm having a 3-year-old's birthday party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, unless they like Saruta, I'm not playing this fucking show.
I've done 2. One was for one of Sarah's best friends and who lives in Richmond, and that was fun because they like, you know, gave me what they wanted to hear through the night, and then
That helps.
I could like mix some other random like just kind of like danceable stuff into it. And one time was for one of my cousins, and it was kind of like we need somebody, and we're not trying to like break the bank to do this. And I was like, cool. But generally, I have a lot of respect for like freeform DJs and stuff.
Seriously.
Because it takes something that I kind of accept at this point that I do not have.
Yeah.
Which is playing music that I just don't like.
Yeah.
And maybe a lot of freeform DJs, it's like, they get their jollies from playing exactly what it is everybody else wants to hear.
You've seen that reaction.
Yeah. And they may not love every song, but they are serving the purpose of a DJ in that place.
Right.
Yeah.
I do want to like have that balance, but it's still within this kind of world where it's like, I want to play songs I like. I want to play songs I think other people might know in a different way.
Yep.
But I can't pretend at all to like things that I just don't like.
Dude, I did the same thing. I thought I was, okay, I'm going to make some money doing weddings and corporate events, and I did a couple, and that was it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it anymore because it's like, this is going to consume me, and I'm going to hate every bit of it.
Yeah. Like mad respect to the people that do that, because
For real.
I don't have the juice for it.
Last time we went to the Verve, I was like nerve wracked.
Yeah.
Like when I was there back in the, like when I was living there when we first met, and I got used to it, it was like home almost. It was like, it was like second nature. I'll just go up there. I don't give a fuck what these people think, like blah, blah, blah. But then it was like 2 years later, I went on stage. I'm like, man, I don't know what to play. I don't want to mess up. Me with like my weird slightly ADD brain, I like want my transitions to be perfect, even if it's not like the music to do transitions like that. So even then I'll have like, Usher playing, but then I'll have Laffy Taffy D4L looping the intro, the 16 bar looping, so that I can like introduce it. So it's like, personally for me, I'm having some fun as well. But they don't care.
Exactly.
They don't care at all. They just want to hear. You could just be like,
you don't even need a transition at all.
No,
like they don't care.
Dude, Smiles will just hit an echo.
Yeah.
And play the next.
Boom. Reverb out.
Reverb out.
Shout out the reverb.
Shout out to reverb and the echo.
What's the reverb out? Like, give me your
it's
reverb
an effect on probably most mixers, but like the one I'm thinking of is like the Pioneer mixers, where it is just an effect that you can have on either one of the channels that's playing a track, and it'll just throw reverb on there. But if you drop the fader down, the reverb will still ring out.
Yeah.
And so it can help you kind of
Easily
give a cleaner transition into new tracks.
Something else.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like a super hard cut.
Gotcha.
It's a little more
smooth.
Fluid.
Yeah. And
But
so I love
but
that.
easy.
Yeah.
And like Smiles will bring that into his electronic sets.
Yeah.
And like and it works perfectly. And it's like, oh shit, what's happening? But like he'll straight up just fucking throw that reverb, that echo on, and just hold it for like an 8 bar. And like I'm panicking, like, dude, just play something.
What's gonna happen?
Like, what do you do? And then
what's going on, man?
Every time it'll be like, she take my money.
And the
crowd, the crowd is like, what the fuck?
Yeah, she's trifling.
And literally, they
Just
heard
a small town.
and he'll literally have played that the weekend before, and they've been there the weekend before, and they're still going crazy.
Still is hype.
Yep.
It's like, how, dude? Like, you got like props to the club DJs for real.
Yeah.
Y'all are doing something up there, because like in our profession where we're just playing like IDs and just like crazy shit. Honestly, if you go on stage and have a good transition, you technically could play any song or any genre one after another, as long as the transition is somewhat good.
Yeah.
But like with a club DJ, you kind of actually have to keep the vibe going.
Yeah.
You can't just like,
And
here's a drum and bass track. Now here's Missy Elliott original. Like, it's not going to work.
Missy Elliott again, times 2.
Times 2, but
I feel like having some of those experiences is just good DJ practice.
yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
okay, I want to go from this completely different place all the way over here. Like,
How do I get there?
yeah.
Yep.
And I'm trying to think of like an example. It's like, obviously if you're playing an all 140 set, completely different like attitude towards what you're listening to and what you're doing. Like when you're doing an all 140 set, it's like, okay, deep dub plates, we're doing this. I don't even do that. I never have done that, but it's like, you know, with the freeform thing, it's like, it's just anything goes, and it's good practice, you know, like.
Yeah, it's tough. There's some really good open format guys.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. When you hear a good open format guy, you're like, damn. Because you definitely know if you're hearing a not good open format guy.
What is that? What is open format? What do you mean by that?
Just anything.
Like they have no like specific style. It's just like whatever flies. Like what do you mean?
They play whatever the audience. It's reactive.
Okay.
You know,
that's
cool.
They just feed off. They just like, what are we feeling? What are you feeling? Let's just like group from there.
Yeah, I generally think of it as like someone who isn't necessarily trying to. They are communicating something in their own way. They're providing a good time for the people wherever
it's
they're
not like
at.
their art.
Yes, it's a different thing because I feel like it's less about just you and what you're trying to present and more about catering to the vibe of wherever you are. Yeah. And so it's like, yeah, you'll hear just, you know, top 40 stuff. Meow.
Mama.
Meow. So, give me a little.
She's like, no, I only speak off mic.
Yeah,
okay. But yeah, it's like with what, you know, a lot of like me and other people do, it's like we're trying to, it's kind of like a presentation. Like, this is, you know, what I do. I make some of the songs I'm playing.
Yeah. Again, I make the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, always a challenge to kind of present that in the way that you want to present it, right? You know, because like you also don't want to watch a DJ. It's like the opposite of an open format DJ is like a DJ that just goes up and does exactly what they want 100% of the time. And it's like, now you're just jacking off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like, now you're just doing build up into build up of the heaviest thing you've ever heard for an hour. And I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Gonna drain us.
Yeah, so it's a balance there, but like, yeah, that's always a struggle. Like, and we were talking about explaining it to people completely outside of it that are unfamiliar with the whole world of DJing and production, where it's like finding the language to describe what you do.
Yeah, break it down a little bit.
Is hard.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm kind of getting better at describing it to people though, like my family and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh,
like,
so
I press some buttons.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I actually like do this.
Yeah.
The sound you hear, I've created this.
Right, right.
Yeah. You said something earlier about like leading people in with stuff that is, I guess, familiar.
Yeah.
With electronic music. And I keep thinking my uncle, man, I don't know how many times I've heard November Rain, Guns N' Roses.
Purple Rain?
He sits there and sings that every day. I'm going to work with him tomorrow.
Chocolate Rain.
Yeah.
Chocolate Rain.
Chocolate Rain. Chocolate Rain.
Or some of these like Ozzy songs he listens to. And it's like, I keep telling him like, I'm going to show you some of my stuff someday.
It's like, hey,
Mike's like, I'm going to show you a dick pic. Oh wait, no, unrelated.
My bad. That wasn't what I meant to say.
Yeah,
like, grow up.
I'm gonna show you something different.
Probably same reaction.
Yeah. Don't act like you're not impressed.
Okay.
It's the pleat of the pants.
Intriguing.
That's what it is.
Rule of thirds on that one. Good job, buddy.
No, but it's been hard for me to understand how like I've always been a person that listens to music through the sounds first and all that before the vocals.
Yeah. Yeah.
And most people are vocals first, and I'm
totally
just like backwards on it.
Totally.
And that's why electronic music appeals to me so much, because I like all the other instruments in it and everything. But
that's, yeah, I mean, you're totally not alone in that, because like I feel that way most of the time, like more often than not. Like I'm like listening to like kind of the production underneath everything.
Mm-hmm.
but then it's like you realize that, you know, the average listener out there, it's like more than anything they connect with lyrics and vocals, kind of like what you were saying earlier. Yeah. So it's like, you know, another thing to try to balance, where it's like, you know, what's something there's so that there's enough there to latch onto, but then also enough interesting stuff on the in the bed of it all that like you're like it's different. But that's why, like, there's a lot of music since I started producing that I did not listen to at all prior to, but like since starting and kind of getting more of an appreciation for that stuff, started to really love, honestly, like a lot of hip hop stuff.
Okay. Oh yeah,
you know, let's go. I was gonna ask what kind of genres you were.
What hip hop? What hip hop's been fancying you?
Man, I would have to like, because I find a lot of stuff through like Discover Weekly on Spotify.
So nothing like it's
like one of the people that I really love like right now that's probably like more mainstream that I think most people would have heard of is like Amine. Have you heard of Amine? It might be Amine, whatever.
He is so low stream, no one knows how to say his name.
Yeah, I mean,
I've heard of him for sure.
Yeah, of all of like the I guess more well known like hip hop people that I listen to, I'd say he's probably up there. And then there's like a few other people, like I just will throw them in my like, you know, hip hop, rapper, R&B playlist on Spotify or whatever. Yeah. But a lot of it kind of came from, you know, first being like the beats and everything that are underneath this are really sick.
Yeah.
And so it's like if you have words that can complement that and like, you know, some level of depth that I can fuck with on top of that, it's just, you know, icing on the cake.
For sure. Oh yeah.
But there's been a lot of that really hasn't been until I kind of started going deep with production, where I was like, I feel like I get it now.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, like we were talking about earlier, I was into just, you know, more alternative and indie stuff and hardcore stuff.
Breakdown.
Yeah. Yes. Totally.
It's funny because I was hanging out with the two Wills, Akimbo and Weewa, a couple weeks ago.
Will Squared.
Will Squared. Yep. And the night started off with me and Akimbo just hanging out. And that dude he's a wild producer.
I cannot wait to get him on. He's my favorite producer.
Yeah.
He has been killing it.
Like,
he's a lot of those songs too. Sorry to cut you off. A lot of those songs too he's had for a couple years.
Yeah.
Songs that he sent me when we first met 2 years ago that he just released.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Sorry to mess with your levels there.
I don't care. I know
cut you out. You cut me off. I cut you off.
I know how to project my voice. Oh, that's how it
is.
Put him in conversation timeout
right.
Into the closet.
It's a fucking hockey match over here. Dude.
But no, just kind of like just like going forward with what you're talking about with like just lyrics and how you hear music.
Yeah.
Like Will Akimbo, I was talking to him and he was playing something, and he was playing a song, and all I could think about was, what are the words that go over this song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all he was thinking about was the sound.
Yep.
And we were like, we weren't clashing. We were like working very well together and like things, because he was playing something, and then in my mind, I was just like, I would drift off and like start singing, or like, just, I don't know, try to create a melody of something. And it was just like, it was cool to see that perspective and difference of how other people see music and feel music and interact with it. And it's just not just like, oh, words, you know, or just sound, you know. It's that whole beautiful blend of it. And then Weewa came in and then like helped create that like even boundary. I know he's like he's got a good I feel like he's got a good foot in both of those.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's just it was like one of those things where it's just like, oh, okay, so yeah, you don't hear music the same way I hear music.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
It's awesome.
It's okay.
It's just like endlessly fascinating.
Right.
Yeah.
Back in the day when like I don't remember what year it was, but like when Scary Monsters and Ice Sprites came out, I was showing my buddy Andrew, shout out Andrew. I was showing him Skrillex's song Right In, and I was singing the song like bam 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 right like singing everything but the lyrics. And he's like, that's so weird. Why are you singing like the noises? There's no lyrics here. There's no point in you singing.
Shut up.
That's what he was trying to tell me. He's like, stop talking,
dude. You were ahead of your time.
I was, dude. For my friend
jazz
group,
artist,
dude.
Yeah,
right. It was just.
The old Yaz flute.
I look back at it. Before at that time, I didn't even think about producing. I was like, DJing's cool. Like scratching is awesome. That's what I thought at that time. And I was like, I'm gonna be in a band. I'm gonna tour in a band. That was the goal. That was the goal. That was the goal then. I was like, I'm gonna do band shit. But this dubstep shit is fucking cool as fuck, and I'm singing the womps and you know what I'm saying.
It was scratching the itch for a lot of the metal kids. Where it's like, man, it's visceral. You know what I mean? It's like you go to a show, because that was the cool thing about hardcore shows back in the day. It was like, between the bass and how just like intense the breakdowns were, and everyone was like moving, whether you were one of those kids that's like, you know, too fucking cool for school and you're crowd killing everybody and throwing down in the pit. And it's like, either way, or if you're chilling on the side, it's like you feel it in your gut and you're like, this is sick.
Should I get in there?
Yeah. But like,
some scary.
You're holding your fist out. That was the thing. You hold your fist out.
Dap it up.
Get the fuck out of here! Don't you dare!
Oh, okay.
There's that bald guy with like 2-inch gauges. You're like, that guy looks scary as shit.
Right.
Please don't come near me.
He might have murdered my family.
I always hated that there was always that one guy that knew Taekwondo and he was doing high kicks, crowd killing. Yeah. There was one dude that would just do backflips and fucking crowd kill, and I was like, man, I love this, but I'm gonna stand way the front.
Yeah, I don't want my nose to meet this guy.
Dude. Literally, so many. You would just be at shows or like fucking like Warped Tour or whatever. They're like,
I love Warped Tour.
You see people walking out of the crowd like with like a bloody nose. I'm like,
happy.
This is our leisure time.
Right. Have you been to Warped Tour?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Totally.
Okay, I've been to the Illinois one, Tinley Park, I think it was.
Yeah, I went to the indie one, I think like 3 times.
I've done 3, or at least 4.
Yeah, I mean that was my world back then. Like,
that was my first festival.
You guys are wild.
That was my first festival.
Rascal Flatts was my world back in the day.
Chill out, doggy. I think
Florida Georgia line.
Yeah.
Nah.
God bless the broken road.
We're gonna write up his letter of resignation for him, dude.
Type it up. Let Vlad know.
Super hot take.
The fuck is that?
Nice. I know we want to get start wrapping up a little bit, but I want to, before we get going, I want to know a little bit about you and Solace.
Yeah.
And kind of like how that, because I don't know, Solace for me, I've seen it as it's a really cool just entity, group, project, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, label, group of people who are doing something like really cool and like
killing the game.
Every single person that I know who's involved with it is super talented and fucking like authentic and cool.
Super hot. I mean, what?
Super fucking hot.
So
I
fine.
mean, so fine. Just dimes everywhere.
I'll be in a throuple with anyone.
Yeah. Yum yum rinse.
Supposed to keep that in my head.
Yeah. Damn. But how did that come about? Because just I don't know. I feel like Solace kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel the same way. I'm glad you brought it up because I do really want to talk about them because I owe a lot to them. And when I say owe a lot, I just mean like I definitely wouldn't be doing exactly what I'm doing right now without them, but also like it's wild how quickly those guys became like brothers to me. Mm-hmm. And the way it all kind of started before Solace was even like, I guess a thought you'd say.
Yeah.
Isaac Uju, for anybody listening, he is from up here in Indy, but I obviously didn't know who he was, until maybe like, God, how long have we known each other? It was like 3 years ago, maybe 4. I feel like
probably like 3 or 4 years since
he just popped up out of nowhere. Like, it literally felt like he just came out of the ground and is like, I exist and I make music. The first song that I'd ever heard that he'd done anything with was Fioratura, which was the project he had going with Jordan Moody.
Okay.
And that was at the time where I was still just kind of like working on my production chops, and I heard that and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Were you RYNS at this point?
I think
RYNS a
I
project?
had kind of just started
Okay.
RYNS.
Okay.
Like just started it. And that's when a buddy showed me Fioratura, and they were like, yeah, they're local. And I'm like, oh, shit. And me and Jordan actually go way back too, but I'll get to that here in a little bit. So Isaac just reached out to me online, being the gregarious motherfucker
Social butterfly.
He is.
Social butterfly.
Dude.
He's got a
Take
gift.
some swings.
There's just no denying that.
Yeah,
He just,
hey,
he's a
let's be
I need
wanderer.
a little bit of that energy. I just want
Yeah.
a little bit. That's all I need.
Yeah. I love him for it because it's like he honestly does it for everyone.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But he reached out to me because I think it was one of the last things. No, so okay, actually this gives me some perspective. I had dropped one project under the Mala thing, and then it was very briefly after that it had changed to RYNS. But he reached out to me because he was like, yo, I dig this, and he was just trying to find more people that were like making music in Indiana.
Yeah.
And
Quality.
yeah, he liked it. It was just like more kind of like a vibey, almost like breaks type tune.
Oh.
And
Is it still out there? Like,
No, it is not still out there.
Yeah.
But
Re-release?
maybe. The
VIP?
thing is, I really liked the tune.
VIP?
Maybe. That's a good idea. I hadn't really thought about it up until this point, but like maybe
Go see RYNS live. You might play a VIP of it.
maybe we'll make that a thing because it was a really cool
release.
idea and I liked it. But he was like, yo, let's like get together and cook up or whatever. And so he was living up in Noblesville at the time, and I was at that point, I'm always driving up to Indianapolis. Like, because everybody's up here. And it's like so hard to get people down to Bloomington, which is cool. And I'm always willing to drive because I kind of like driving and just having that time. But I came up and I was coming to his place, and that was when, we were just kind of like, becoming friends. Like, what do you fuck with? This is what I fuck with.
Yeah.
Like, let's try to make some stuff.
Yeah.
We're both kind of like getting our foot in the door.
Figuring each other out.
That was when we started making Lost, which was our first collab, which, still to this day, I'm like, it's a cool, unique track. Like, again, things I would maybe change about it or do differently, but it was like a necessary stepping stone.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like the beginning of it. Like, it all just kind of like branched out from there and just hasn't stopped branching out since then.
I would say since Lost, my favorite track, honestly, from like locals in general, Run Up.
Yeah.
Dude.
That got a lot of love.
Mm-hmm. That song is fucking fire, dude.
And
I play that a lot. No one else, you don't play it. I know you don't.
Yeah, Mike's a hater.
I play it. I
Come
play
on,
it.
man, what the fuck?
I'll play it. I've played it. I've never heard anyone else play it but maybe you guys.
Yeah.
I love that song so much. And then, I don't know if we could talk about it, but I know you guys have like a...
We might have to bleep that out.
I'll bleep that out. Put it in.
Because
Hour 45.
we might have to bleep it out because it hasn't actually been announced in any legitimate way yet.
That is fine, but can you just send me a preview? Because I just want to hear that
100%.
Because that shit, when I hear like that tone or that melody, it's just like...
Yeah.
Stop teasing us, all right? We have to bleep the fuck out, all right?
You're not going to know what label.
The fuck is that?
You're not going to know what label or what it is because that might have been too loud. But that song, man, when I first heard it, I don't know if it was like an Instagram post or...
If you have
or what?
followed either of us in the last 6 months, there's no way you haven't heard that song.
It's. I know I could probably find the post that Uju posted where it was like, I'm going to be here, and he used that song as like a promo for it, and it's like...
Narc.
Like,
So
dude,
he's always joking. He's like, yeah,
so good.
Christian gets a fucking 6-foot vertical every time that track drops. And it's true because like we knew when we were making that one, that was one of the things that I think we started cooking that up in like 2020. I think that was through the COVID time.
Fuck yeah.
And we just like knew it was special. And that's one of 4 tunes that is on an EP that will be coming out.
You guys are doing an EP.
Yeah, it will be coming out like within the first probably 3 to 4 months. I'm being like liberal with my estimate because we haven't actually gotten a release date yet.
Mid 2022.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe 2023.
It could be 23 or 4.
But I'm super excited for that release with him because we just spent a lot of time on it, and I feel like it's a really good blend of a lot of stuff that both of us love. And I just really like collaborating with him. Like, he got me out of a really rigid production shell that I was in, where I was like...
Example?
So it's like whenever you're getting started, there's like these hard rules that I feel like you start picking up from different places that like people that, are, really familiar with, production techniques and what the standards are of how to start. Yeah. And he just experiments and fucks around, like does not care at all what ends up happening. He's just like throwing things where it's like if you had really traditional production knowledge, like watching most people in the experimental, music community, you're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
That doesn't go there. That many things on there, like you're not supposed to have 27 OTTs on this thing, but then you do it and you're like, oh, this is how people come up with like the most unique, coolest stuff. Like, and it kind of got me more in a headspace of like caring less about whether or not I was following certain rules and realizing that there aren't any in the first place.
No.
But that's why I really love collaborating with him. It's like I can zone in and then I always learn a lot. But
it's like it's a challenge too.
Totally.
Like, or it's like conflict, the same thing. You're like, I'm going to do me, and someone else throws something out there. You're like, well, that's not something I typically do, but then you do it and you're like, oh,
you can't do that.
Oh, baby.
Totally. It's always nice to have that person to bounce the idea off of. It's like you have been going for like, 30 minutes to an hour, and then you're like, my ears are dead. Yeah. Like, take it over. And they'll throw something at it, and then you're like, all over again, like, whoa, like, I know where to take it now. Yeah. And it's super fun that way. But after we started that, collab and series of other collabs, that was when he started to kind of get, connected and close with Wiley, eventually, meeting Jared, who fucking shout out Jared.
We're going to have Jared on,
we
need the pod soon. I think
Wiley was saying he needs to.
I talked to Jared last night a bunch. He's interested. Yeah. I think he's a little nervous about it. Yeah. I think it'd be cool maybe to have like Isaac and Jared on like the same episode. Yeah. And it'd give like a cool like back and forth on things.
Yeah. Can make them really
I don't know, because they kind of like Isaac started at some point, and then Jared is like helped with a lot of the legwork on other portions. You know?
And like especially and also with Alex, who's like our pretty much just in-house photographer, videographer at this point. Between Alex, Jared, and Isaac, they've traveled together a fair amount throughout the last even just year. Right. Like there's some good stories to be heard there, I'm sure.
I can't wait.
But it all just sort of it was kind of by happy accident worked out, where it's like this group of people that seemed equally as dedicated to what they were doing, started and made Solace kind of what it is. And obviously shout out Uju for, kind of birthing the thing. Right. Mm-hmm. But it's been really cool. It's like something that I've always wanted, and to have like just a hub of homies that are really passionate about it, and I feel like, that it is communicated through, the energy of everybody in the group.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's the old saying, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together.
Boom.
It takes a village.
Yeah, I like it.
It's like, hell, fuck yeah, we got this.
And seriously, shout out Jared, because he has, coming into it, he's learned a lot even just from getting brought on. Like, he had so much drive to learn more of the ins and outs, and obviously there's like always more for all of us to learn in our different avenues. Mm-hmm. But like, I just have a lot of respect for his drive, and also like what he's been helping me and some of the other members of the team do are another thing that I've just always wanted. I want to focus on music. Like,
Of course.
I want to write music and just be able to put my head in that, and obviously like keep my ear to like what's going on, and like be on socials and be present. Like I do that. The reason I love music so much is because it brings me together with
you don't want to
people.
be floating through.
Totally. But you know, more than anything else, I want to make music and
be creating.
Yeah, and there are, you know, aspects of having to be engaged on social media that are just really draining.
Really taxing.
Dude.
Really draining.
It's crazy that when like Instagram and Twitter like were first created, I was on that shit. Like I would be on Snapchat with my stories and Instagram with my stories, and people like my homies responding like, dude, thank you for posting this. This shit is so funny. Like I'm not saying I'm the funniest guy in the world, but I would get comments.
Neither is anybody else.
Don't sell yourself short. You're so funny.
That was for Matt, not you. Death wonk to him. But they would just be like, you know, this shit was funny. I can't believe you did that, or blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't even want to look at my Instagram. Now I don't even want to look at Twitter. And I don't even want to open the app for whatever reason. And I don't get it. And it's like, this music shit is my life. It's everything to me. I'm going to do it whether I'm playing shows, whether I'm as small as I am now, or if I ever get as big as fucking
whether you're playing just to your fucking headphones,
right?
To
like
yourself.
If I'm doing sets for myself, or I'm playing Lost Lands main stage, like or whatever. Forest Ranch Arena, like that's the goal. Obviously, that's what I want to do. But like, I'm gonna do this forever, and no one's gonna stop me.
And that's what you should be like. You're doing it because you love it, not because you see an end goal of where you want to be.
Yeah,
right.
And the longer you do it,
what you want to pour out.
Right.
The longer you do it, the more you can kind of like recognize who feels similarly.
Exactly.
You know, because I've been making music in some capacity since I was like 10 or 11.
Right.
And it's like also that kind of difference between like I you know, appreciate music and I play music, and then the people that are like, because you'll find like virtuoso piano players that could play any number ever.
Anything.
Like you put the sheet music in front of them and they'll just like rip it to shreds. But then there's like this gap between that and the desire to want to make something new.
Right.
And like my brother's a great example. He's an incredible piano player. But like there was he never wanted to didn't want to, but he never strived to like just like write something on his own.
Different, yeah.
And it was really just like making something new that got me going.
Yeah.
More than like learning how to like sweep pick on a guitar. You know, I was like, I just want to make something that feels like it's mine.
Right. Or something I've never heard of type of shit.
Yeah. But shit, what were we even talking about right before that? It's like losing my train of thought right now.
We're just kind of talking about you becoming a part of Solus.
Yeah. But it was like all of the social media stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like, obviously, I do love that to an extent. But sometimes I'm on social media, and obviously it's like they're like, you know, comparison is the thief of joy, and I'm like, yeah, blah blah blah, whatever, like blah blah blah. But I believe
hate you.
I believe it. It's like sometimes I'm scrolling through social media and I'm like feeling myself get sad,
withering away.
You're like, dude.
RYNS
and I'm like, all right,
RYNS is slowly
it's
going
time.
away.
It's time. Get the fuck out
Damn,
of here.
dude. If you're getting sad, I'm looking at you guys, and I'm like, damn, I'm not doing shit right
And
at
that's
all.
the thing.
Yeah.
It's just constant comparison, and it's like figuring out how to make the best out of those resources, and then having a healthy degree of separation so that it doesn't sidetrack you from the things that you know are important, which is like you love music, you want to make it, you want to share these things, and you know that's the priority, that's the vision, you know. And all of these things that we have to distract us. I'm not even like that dude that's like, don't use social media. Like, it's super important. It's good to know.
The whole business.
But also, like, you know, take breaks. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Give yourself breaks. Like, take a step back. Like, that stuff is real. And it doesn't matter if you're, like, Bruno Mars probably has some fucking guy that he looks at and he's like, man, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wish I was him.
I know.
Yeah, Justin
Maybe not.
Timberlake.
Maybe
out
I'm
here
just like,
man, that guy's life looks good.
yeah, exactly.
Bruno
Maybe
Mars-
I'm making
Yo.
some wild assumptions, and that's not true
Right.
at all. But
Bruno Mars
Yeah,
is probably
Justin
like,
Timberlake's like, nah.
yeah, he's like, no, I don't feel
Nah,
that.
I'm really
ever.
cool.
Bruno wants to be Justin. Justin
Yeah.
wants to be, you know,
Yeah.
Aerosmith. I don't know.
Maybe
yeah, Aerosmith for sure.
That's the only thing I could think
Yeah,
of on the
that was
fly.
again.
Steven
hilarious.
Tyler specifically. He
Yeah.
just wants to be Steven
Justin
Tyler.
Timberlake
wants
wants
to
to
be-
be Steven Tyler.
He wants
for
to be
sure.
the whole
Ralph
band.
Was that
Aerosmith.
big?
And Death Wonk for me.
Boom.
All right. Well, it's been a fucking pleasure.
Yeah, as we
I
Yeah,
really
it's been
enjoyed the
great,
time.
yeah.
Like,
I'm so glad because I'm looking at the time right now. It's at 1:57. I was trying to hit
Yeah.
the 2-hour mark so we could get like an hour.
like
Easy.
stepping into this, I was like, I don't know much about Christian.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited to like hear just your perspective and view because I fuck with your music.
Yes.
And like, I will tell you 100%. The first time I ever heard of you,
Yeah.
someone was saying, he's
He's a
your
douche.
producer's favorite producer.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Damn, that's cool." And
That's cool.
and it, like the person saying it was someone I also respected too. It was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Who was it?
Yeah,
if you
who
don't
was
mind
It
me
was
asking?
it was at the Solus Takeover
He's making
at the
it up.
Mousetrap like
Okay,
2
word.
years ago.
He's
Cool.
making it up.
That was a fun show.
Yeah.
I remember that set, and I really felt good about that set. It
Yeah.
was a good time.
And so it's just like, "Fuck yeah, let's get it."
Hell yeah.
And I really enjoyed our time.
Yeah.
Like everyone
same.
else did.
Yeah. loved it.
I
I wasn't there. I didn't even.
I was talking about this
yeah, right
this
now.
this time. We're living in
oh,
the
you're
present.
here, baby.
Oh, I thought you were talking about that 2 year ago.
No,
Solus
no.
Takeover.
Idiot.
You were kind of here, kind of not.
I was not there.
I was I think I was telling you, I'm just like, I appreciate that you guys are doing this because I love listening to podcasts, like, because I was telling you I have that downtime at work and stuff, so I'll just listen to, like, I like Willie Joy's podcast a lot. He
Great.
talks to a
That's
lot of
really
cool
good.
people.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, just other random one-off ones, but I'm glad that there is like a crew of people in indie that is highlighting what's happening in and around here and in the
Yeah.
Midwest.
Thank you, brother.
I think it will easily just continue to branch out, and you'll be able to get more, you know, super cool guests on here.
We hope so.
So,
we,
like,
we hope
yeah.
you're on for another time.
Yeah.
If you'll have us.
We'll have a part 2 at some point, and
Yes.
we'll
Yeah.
see where things are
Yeah,
at.
because I want to hear what the RYNS means to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know, because we
That-
didn't get to cover it today.
yeah, yeah.
We're going to
When you figure out
at
that
some
acronym.
point.
Yeah.
yeah.
I have
So we're
I
good.
have
He's got
ideas,
it.
but we're gonna save
He's got
it.
it.
We're
When
saving
you,
it for the next
save
one.
when you
it.
cement that,
We need to keep some things in the lockbox.
Yeah.
Exactly. Keep them wanting more.
Yeah.
all right, y'all. Well,
We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much
Yep.
for listening. Anything else you want to promote? It's coming out this Wednesday. The audio and then videos coming out Thursday. So
Well,
if you have anything,
if you haven't yet, go listen to the new tune. It's called
Yes,
Boundless.
Definitely do.
You can find it anywhere that you listen to music.
that's always a
And
plus.
we have some really exciting things coming for 2022. Lots of cool shows, lots of music that, you know, we've been pouring our hearts into over,
Yep.
honestly, the last like 2 years.
yeah.
And I feel like, you know, like a lot of us, we've been doing this for a long time, but everything is just getting started. You know?
Things are falling into
Exactly.
place
Yeah.
though. Like you start seeing those puzzle pieces, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And everything you need to find will be in the description of this video. Look below.
Yeah,
It's
all those links.
SoundCloud, Spotify, everything,
Everything.
Boundless. It's all there. Go find it, enjoy,
yeah.
and have a good time.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me.
We love you. And until next time, RYNS.
Oh yeah, and Boundless is gonna end us tonight.
Yeah, if you're down, we would like to put your
Play it
song.
out.
If we throw
Yeah.
Boundless
it.
at the end
Probably
it out.
probably do intro and outro.
Yeah.
There you
Jam it.
go. See you later.
All right.
Okay.
Later,
Peace out.
guys.
Thank y'all.
Peace.
Let's fucking go. Don't ever turn my faders down. Don't ever turn my fucking. Don't fucking turn my faders down.